This one, I will introduce very briefly what is Nithya Kriya by Swamiji's grace and his gift to humanity. And then I will talk about cardiovascular and respiratory health, because asthma is related to the respiratory and also cardiovascular, so they are interrelated. Okay. Then we'll understand a little bit more about asthma, and then all of us will go through the steps to do this kriya, the cure for asthma. Then after that, you can have a brief sharing, by all the participants. Okay, so this is the flow that we are going to follow. Next slide. So let's understand, for especially new people who have not attended Nithya Kriya, let's recap what is Nithya Kriya. So Nithya Kriya is a unique ancient combination of components of Nityananda Yoga, which include the asanas, which is yoga posture, pranayama, the breathing technique, visualization, both internal visualization as well as external verbalization in the form of mantra, sound vibration. So internal verbalization could be in the form of mantra or external sound, chanting. So these kriyas, they derive from the ancient source of the scriptures of Hinduism. They are decoded and reviewed by Swamiji, who is also fondly known as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Basically, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. So in a span of 18 years, he has conducted so many thousands of programs, okay? And in this span of, more than 18 years, basically, Nithya Kriyas is actually a manual comprises, both cure and cares for some of the common ailments that we are seeing in modern day, in a modern lifestyle, okay? Some are also related to psychological diseases or disorder, not just physical ailments. So for cure or preventing care, Nithya Kriyas, they work respectively for each condition or disorder. Even though the desired result may be experienced within a few days of practicing, it depends on individual as well. But all the Kriyas are to be practiced for a good period of 21 days consecutively, because Swamiji did mention that for any new muscle memory to develop, a new habit to develop, you need at least 21 days. So that's why if you even to practice a Kriya, do it continuously at least for 21 days to see the effect. Okay, next slide. So Nithya Kriyas is basically they preserved and deliver the original yogic practices which are born out of the millennia of research and development, and are the contribution of innumerable enlightened yogis who have dedicated their lives to enriching the world with this science. So understand, Swamiji basically, when he was experimenting with all this breathing technique, he basically used the research material done by a lot of enlightened yogis before his time, and he put together, for our modern day health issues. And literally he said that for certain health condition, disorder, he put himself through that disorder and tried these kriyas on himself, okay? So according to the teaching and methods laid out by these legendary yogis like Gorakhnath or Matsyendranath, they belong to the Natha Sampradaya, which is the lineage of Kalabhairava. So the individual asanas and pranayama techniques are sacred, and they must not be tampered with, understand? So the combination of the techniques required to produce the desired effect are to be received by the learner, from the guru. So that means initiation, through the guru. And true to the Vedic tradition, these, this so-called the fathers of the modern yoga have left the door wide open for the continuous updating of this ancient science. So that's why a lot of yogis, when they do a lot of R&D, they always keep the door open for updation. Okay, so like in case of Swamiji, he has happened in this century. He has developed, updated this Kriya because the kind of diseases and psychological disorder we're seeing today is very different from those yogis like 5,000 years ago or at least 2,000 years ago. The kind of lifestyle, the pace that we're living is very different from those people living at that time. So that's why a master or incarnation descend on planet Earth again and again to update for the relevance of the humanity at this time. Okay, next slide. So basically the constant flow energy happens continuously in your body through the 72,000 subtle energy channels called nadis. Nadis are the subtle energy channels, okay? They make up of the energy circuit of the body. So our body has got different circuit. One of the circuits, the energy circuit, which is not visible to the eyes, okay? So this circuit is governed by the Kundalini Shakti, the inner potential energy. So Kundalini energy is the immense potential energy present in every one of us and acts as a water pump. You know how the water pumps and it flushes out a lot of the blockages. So same thing for Kundalini Shakti to be awakened, it just pump the energy and helps to complete this energy circuit. So Kundalini can be thought of as every individual's hotline to the infinite cosmic energy source. So let's say you have some energy block. When you awaken the Kundalini energy, it just pumps the energy and again rewires the whole system, okay, the energy circuit. So once awakened by the appropriate yogic practices and the guidance and grace of the Guru, Kundalini showers a host of blessing on the practitioner, including a big boost in the energy level, physical well-being, and falling away of the negative mental patterns and inner fulfillment. It brings true inner fulfillment and a deep connection to the universal source, which is Paramashivam. So if there is a disturbance in energy flow in some part of the body, there is impediments. That means to the energy flow, there's a blockage to the energy flow to the rest of the body, resulting in the onset diseases, disorder, disturbances in the body. So that's how disturbances of the mind creates an energy block. The energy block manifests in the physical issue, right? Having organs being developing some kind of disorder or some ailments or some cancer or whatever. So Nithya Kriyas are powerful tools which help remove these energy blockages, restoring the life energy flow, prana. When the body is aligned in certain postures during the Nithya Kriyas, the energy block is removed. Okay? You're moving too fast. Can you go back? You're moving forward. Okay, wait for her to come back. Share the screen. What happened? Something. Okay, just showing. Okay, she's back. Wait, let me just enlarge the screen once again so that I can see the text. No, right now the text is true. Sorry for the technical glitch. So basically, let me just continue. So when the body is aligned to certain posture during the Nithya Kriya, the energy block is removed and realigned. Once the blockages is removed, Kundalini energy gets pumped into the circuit during the Kumbhaka, the time where you have the cessation of the breath. So when energy flows is re-established, the disease or disturbance is healed completely. So this is how the Nithya Kriyas works. Next slide. So what is the significance of these Nithya Kriyas? Okay, understand, if your body allows you to do what you are supposed to do, only then you are healthy, right? If you can't do this, you can't do that, then something fundamentally is wrong with some part of the body that stopped you from doing what you want to do. So health is not at all about, having biceps and triceps or the beautiful part of the body. It is all about your body aligning to your purpose, right? That is health. So let your idea about health be centered or established on cosmic principle. So what are the cosmic principles? So in Hinduism, has strengthened and redefined the ideas of physical health, okay, psychological healing, spiritual counseling, helping humanity, in terms of the mentally, emotionally, and psychologically by operating with a single unified goal of facilitating every individual to explore the ultimate possibility by enlightening them with science elaborated in the timeless Hindu source scriptures called Vedas and Agama. See, all this knowledge or science, they are recorded in Vedas and Agamas, okay, by all these enlightened beings. So for overall good health and well-being, Hinduism has solutions that can be easily practiced and incorporated into our daily life, okay? As long as you have the knowledge and you know the right source. So the healing achieved by Nithya Kriya is actually permanent as it works on the cellular biomemory level. It generates natural steroids and therefore they do not have side effects. No negative side effects, only good healing effects. Next slide. So Nithya Kriya is soundly anchored on some of these yogic scriptures, including Yoga Sutra Patanjali, as well as Hatha Yoga Pratipika, Giranda Samhita, and Shiva Samhita. These are the scriptures which Swamiji referred to. So we'll go through this very quickly. So Yoga Sutra Patanjali, next slide. And then, okay, Hatha Yoga Pratipika, which is actually written by Swami Swamarama, and then Giranda Samhita and Shiva Samhita. Okay, so these are the 4 types of yogic texts that have been referred to. Next slide. So these, there are also other texts that Swamiji referred to draw, the breadth and depth of the breathing techniques like Kumbhaka Padati, and yoga, the whole bunch of Yoga Pradipika, Yogasana, Mala, Sachitra. So all these are the yogic texts that he referred to. Okay? So basically, Kailasa works towards availing science of 108 Nithya Kriyas through, to humanity, to the world, so that we all can use these techniques that are time-tested and proven by these yogis. So as you know that Kundalini Shakti is a self-healing mechanism, practitioner of Nithya Kriyas will find that not only their health and life problems diminish or disappear, but also the very patterns that cause the disease are rooted out by the overflowing of this superconscious energy as the being goes through a superconscious mutation process. So when the Kundalini energy is awakened, you go through a superconscious mutation process. Next slide. So overall, over the years, this Nithya Kriya has made extraordinary progress in recognizing, diagnosing, and treating mental illnesses, psychological distress. So Kailasa's Department of Health is committed to building on that success by matching humanity's hardship with equally magnanimous responsibility by improving the quality of healthcare for all the Hindus throughout the world through the science of Nithya Kriyas. It is the policy of Kailasa Department of Health to work towards the unified goal of bringing excellence to the healthcare provision to the citizens, and also by providing them with the best services towards well-being so that they can achieve success, prosperity, and ultimately contributing back to the world. So that is Swamiji's vision, that he wants all of us to be healthy, all of us to able to contribute back to humanity, to planet Earth. Next slide. I must say, after meeting Swamiji, next slide, I don't need this. I must say that after meeting Swamiji, I have not seen a doctor for ages. I can't remember. I met Swamiji maybe 16, 17 years now, since 2006. So I've not seen a doctor for so many years. He has healed me completely. All right, so now we are going to enter into the asthma for cure for asthma for Nithya Kriya. So before we do that, let's understand about the cardiovascular and the respiratory system. Next slide. So here's a bit of disclaimer once again. So the flow of Nithya Kriya is a continuous process. So follow these steps. Do not break in between until the entire segment of the Kriyas is officially completed. So let's say the Kriya is made up of 5 steps. You don't do 1 step, 2 steps, and then don't do the other 3 steps. Don't do that. You need to finish the whole, all the steps, which is, defined by each Kriya. Okay. And then again, it's recommended to do at least 21 days, or you can do 2 cycles, 42 days on a daily basis to achieve the desired result. Okay. So, and once again, a disclaimer: this technique is not intended to substitute for professional medical diagnosis or treatment. So individual of any kind of medical condition, elderly, children below 14, women who are pregnant or suspect that they may be pregnant, are advised to seek professional medical advice before they practice the technique. Okay. So whoever is here, please mute yourself. I can hear some coughing, sneezing sound, wheezing sound. Please mute yourself before we start the process. Next slide. So let's understand about the cardiovascular and respiratory health. So understand the cardiovascular respiratory system are 2 systems that work very, very closely together, and they are responsible for a wide array of function in our body. Like for instance, the heart pumping action, which is cardiovascular system, contains the heart and blood vessel, while the respiratory system contains the lungs, the muscles needed for breathing, and the passages through which or the air is transported in and out of the lungs. So understand these 2 systems, they are closely linked. Okay, so disorders like asthma, bronchitis, and this called emphysema, which are prevalent respiratory diseases, right? So the main function of the respiratory system is to provide the body with oxygen, the carbon dioxide, and waste product after oxygen has been used. In this function, the respiratory system is dependent on the cardiovascular system, which facilitates the distribution or the transportation, assimilation of these compounds for the respiratory system. So for this, the heart function as the pump, the heart pumping action. It helps to distribute all this that's needed to all the extremities. Next slide. So I still can hear someone's breathing, coughing. Can someone, whoever is there, please mute yourself? Okay. So Shankari, if you can see whoever is not muted, can you mute for me? Because since the person is not able to understand what I'm talking about. Mute this person for me. I can hear the sound. All right, let me just continue with this, the cardiovascular respiratory health. So in addition to the aiding of the respiratory processes, the cardiovascular system also delivers all sorts of substances needed for the cells of the body. So despite transportation, other functions of the cardiovascular system are regulating the body temperature, maintaining different balances in the body, and facilitating the immune system, right? Because in the heart, above the heart, there is a gland called thymus gland, which is part of the endocrine system and is responsible for your immunity. So a wide array of cardiovascular diseases exist and interfere with the transport of blood to the different parts of the body. So one of the main problems related to this, heart diseases is the clogging of the arteries, right? When someone has clogging, like high cholesterol, other thickening of the blood, and the narrow passage of the arteries because of the clogging due to fat depositing around the walls of the blood vessel. So restricting to the blood flow to the parts of the body, including the brain, can cause stroke, right? So along the path of the blood vessel. So that is one of the things that was quite common due to poor lifestyle habit, due to wrong diet, all that contribute to the clogging of the arteries, okay, which cause the heart pumping action to be slow down or having palpitation or what, that kind of thing, or even stroke. So some of the most common heart diseases, right, like stroke, also the most deadly, because these diseases are the leading cause of the world, the health in the worldwide, right? Next slide. According to WHO, right, World Health Organization. Okay, now let's continue with this. So according to the yogic knowledge, the causes of disease is frequently of a mental nature. All the yogis, all the enlightened masters say, when the mind is disturbed, then it indirectly start to manifest in the physical body. So in many of these discourses, Swamiji touches that the mental suffering, such as fear or depressions, are rooted deeply into our biomemory and then cause health problems such as cardiovascular disease by lowering the immune system. So the process of completion with the past pain patterns is essential to overcoming the root causes for a lot of these diseases. So when worry become a habit, let's say someone is habituated to worrying, means they have a worrying pattern. Even there's nothing to worry, they will create one more worry. So it can affect any part of the body, causing a number of psychosomatic diseases, right? Not just heart problem, it can be digestive problem, it can be excretionary problem, all kinds of problem will start to happen when we have all these disturbances in the mind. So this subtle interplay between the body and the mind is why it is so important that worry should be addressed and removed from the system. If someone who has this worrying system, be very clear, they will somehow create some kind of disease in the system, especially as people age. When they start aging, because they never do completion, never clean up all their past memory, these memory come to disturb in a form of worry, inner chatters. So over the time, you will observe a lot of old folks. They have this worrying pattern. They will worry, and then they will have health problem, whether it's heart problem, some kind of health problem they create. Whether it's cholesterol or whether it's diabetes, heart disease, all this, because the mind is disturbed. If they don't do completion, they are not working towards that, maintaining the healthy mental setup. So if an emotion is handled properly, the corresponding chakra, energy center, as you know that in our body we have 7 energy centers, the major ones, right? They function well. When it's functioning well, it expands even to the size of a cartwheel. You can imagine a cartwheel is so big. Your chakra can be so big. But if the emotion is not handled properly and it starts to have blockages, the chakra shrinks to the size of like a button, a coat button that you're wearing. You have a button, so tiny. So whether when it shrinks to so small, of course, it's going to cause low energy flow in the system, and then by and by you will start to manifest disease in that parts of the organs near that chakra. Let's say you have an issue with heart. The heart chakra is blocked, okay, due to certain pattern and mental setup. So when you have a blockage in the heart chakra, naturally it's going to manifest disturbance in the lungs, sometimes in the lymph nodes, lymphomia. It can also happen as heart diseases, right? So like lung cancer, breast cancer, sometimes even lymphoma, lymphatic drainage system is blocked. So all these are symptomatic of a blockage in the heart chakra. Same way for many other blockages in other chakras, it can manifest in different form of diseases. Next slide. Okay, next slide. Okay, so asthma, let's understand what is asthma. Okay, so understand asthma is quite a common chronic inflammatory disease of the airways characterized by wheezing, coughing, chest tightness, and shortness of breath. It means short of breath, cannot take long breath, okay, like shallow breathing, okay. So the severity and the frequency vary from individuals, and they may cause fatigue, reduced activity, sleeplessness, that means insomnia, and also absenteeism in work or school, depending on whether it's a child or it's an adult, right? So if it's an adult, they can't go to work, or if it's a child, they cannot go to school. So these are some of the cause of, when you have asthma, you create tightness, fatigue, and also not able to sleep properly. So it is believed to be caused by allergens, right? So it could be triggered by, a few things like dust, mites, pet, it can be pollution, outdoor allergens like pollens, the moulds, air pollution, chemicals, irritants, and tobacco, smoking. So these are all these things that's present in our outer world. All these can be triggers of the asthma, and some of the triggers can be emotional arousal, like fear, panic attack, anger, frustration, like cold air. Let's say sometimes you're hit by a cold winter, and that can trigger the asthma as well. Even urbanization, too much modernization and all that. So asthma can have so many different uh, triggers. So there's no cure for asthma as such, but that's based on the modern science. Okay, but it can be managed to enable people to enjoy the quality of life. So basically, see, in the yogic science, I believe a cure is possible. This is basically what I believe. Okay, but the modern science say no, there's no cure, because they don't know how to fix the root cause of the problem. So for those of you who want to have that cure, you can try this Nithya Kriya cure for asthma, and you can see for yourself whether it works for you. So short-term medication for inflammation and prevention is available through the doctors. However, as well as long-term for severe cases. Asthma is a major health concern since it is present worldwide in all the economic levels. So regardless of whether you're first-class nation or the third world country, asthma is prevalent in many, many parts of the world. Okay, so he said among the 235 million people worldwide, they suffer from asthma. That's a huge number. It is most common among children. Understand, children is one of the sufferer of asthma. Although asthma does not kill on the onset, right, on the scale of many other chronic diseases, but failure to treat it can be fatal, can be proved to be fatal. Okay, so next slide. So I take a pause now. Any questions so far before we enter into the steps? There are 6 steps to this. So maybe Shankar, you stop the sharing now. I just want to see if there's any questions so far by the participant. Any questions so far? If you have a question, you can ask in the chat. I will be quite happy to answer. Okay. So how many of you have asthma here? I just want to see a show of hands. How many of you had asthma before? Okay, 1, 2. Okay. Okay. So any questions so far? You clear about what the setup so far? Okay, great. So then, if you are ready, let's enter into the Kriya, the steps into the Kriya itself, shall we? So Shankari, you can now share the slide. Okay. So like I said, there are 6 steps. So the yoga asana, to assume, is called Durvasa asana. So next slide. Let's sit in Durvasa asana. So basically, right. So sit on the floor, bend your right knee, place it on the right leg, on the side, left side of the hip. So that means the right above the left. Okay, understand? Yeah. Okay, so bend the left knee and place it on the left foot on the above right thigh so that the left foot is placed near the right side of the hip. So it's basically the right leg is on top. Okay, so touch the right hand fingertips with the middle finger. Okay, right hand fingertips with the middle fingers of the left fingers. Place the hands above the genitus. Okay, and fix the gaze at the eyebrow center, means third eye. Okay, so let's look at the Shastra Pramana is taken from Kumbhaka Padati, verse 77 and 78. It's the translation goes, say one should swallow. Sorry, I think this is the wrong. Sorry, this is the wrong on this side. So basically, this is the step. Okay, so fix the gaze. We'll just fix the gaze for a while first at the third eye for 30 seconds before we start the next step. So sit in Dwasa Asana and focus the awareness on the third eye. All right, relax. So let's go to the next step, second step. So the second step is Naga Kumbhaka, which is a breathing technique. Let's enter into the Naga Kumbhaka. So in Naga Kumbhaka, still sitting in the same posture, we'll continue. So basically, this is taken from the Kumbhaka Parati, verse 77 and 78. It says, one should feel the air slowly into the throat, like swallowing a morsel of rice, and should retain it for maximum possible time with firm application of the Jaranta Bandha, that means throat lock. And then one should exhale through the throat, that means exhaling through, to the throat. This is Naga Kumbhaka, explained by Shiva. By this practice, one is able to win over hunger and thirst. So let's do this technique. So basically, inhale fully by swallowing the air. So you need to so when you're breathing, you're actually swallowing morsel of as if you're swallowing the air, like swallowing morsel of the rice. Once you are full, hold that as long as you can and activate your Jaranta Bandha. After that, when you can't hold any longer, just release through the nostril. Okay, let's do it together. Okay, you can use the fingers to count. You're supposed to do this Kumbhaka for 21 times. So do it at your own pace. Exhale through the nose and release the throat lock. We'll wait for the rest to finish. Those who finish the second step, we'll just wait for a little while. So this is Naga Kumbhaka. This Naga Kumbhaka awakens the Kundalini Shakti. So those of you who do this Kumbhaka, you experience the Kundalini getting awakened. Everyone finished? Give me a thumbs up. You finished the second step? Okay. So let's enter into the third step. Those of you who are still doing the last part, continue until you finish. So I'll just explain what is the third step, which is called Trinetra Kumbhaka. Is again another breathing technique. So this is taken from Kumbhaka Bharati, verse 192. So it says, inhale through the left nostril and retain, then inhale through the right nostril, retain, then inhale through both nostrils and retain, and then after that, exhale through the left. This is the Trineta Kumbhaka. So you're going to do this 21 times. So put your thumbs up, okay? So close the right nostril. This is what you do. Inhale through the left, hold, look at the third eye, inhale through the right, hold, look at the third eye, inhale both nostrils, hold, look at the third eye, and the last step is exhaling through the left. So this is 7 steps Trineta Kumbhaka. Continue this for 21 times. So do another 20 times at your own pace, total 21. Focus on the eyes again. Such an continue area. So everyone finished the third step? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, so we have, all right. So let me just explain the fourth step. Those of you who are still in the process, please continue to the Trinitha Kumbhaka. The fourth step is Trishula Kumbhaka, another breathing technique, another powerful breathing technique. It's taken from Kumbhaka Parati, verse 193. It says, always inhale through the nostril and the mouth simultaneously at a time. This is called Trishula Kumbhaka, the removal of the triple suffering, as explained by Shiva. Okay, so basically, when you inhale through the, the trishul is the trident, right? So your three holes, the nostril and the mouth forms like a trident, the trishul. Okay, so you inhale simultaneously through these three holes, and when you feel the whole lung capacity, just hold the breath judicially. You can't hold anymore. Exhale through the nostril slowly. Okay, do this kumbhaka 3 times. Sorry, 21 times. Let's like this. Okay, so you breathe in through the nose and the mouth simultaneously. Hold. When you can't hold anymore, exhale through the nose. So you can use your hand to count. So, how many you finished the Trishula Kumbhaka? Give me a thumbs up. So mostly doing, let them finish. You can see each Kumbhaka, itself powerful enough to awaken the Kundalini Shakti. Even you do it, if you do it awareness and slowly, you'll see how it awakens the Kundalini energy. Just enjoy the high energy frequency in after the kumbhaka. Every pranayama, you experience this altered state of consciousness. Put it in a very unclutched space in restful awareness. Just enjoy that. Everybody's done? Have a look. Give me a thumbs up. Everybody's done? Okay, so all the people on the Zoom are already done. Okay, they're still doing. So the fourth step is Trishula. Let's enter into the fifth step. It's Kuma Kumbhaka. Let's understand what is Kuma Kumbhaka. Okay, this is also taken from Kumbhaka Paradi, verse 79. It says, having stopped the blinking of the eyes, the Kumbhaka that happens when the eyeballs and body are perfectly steady without any movement, like a log of wood. This is called Kuma Kumbhaka. So let's understand this technique. Still in the same Dvavasana. Continue to be seated in the same asana. Fix your sight in one point and stare. Let's say in front of you is stare something. When you're staring, do not blink the eyes. Do not allow the eyeball to move. Just stare. Okay? Don't move your body as well. While you stare intensely at one place, one point, automatically the breathing will stop. Like the intensity of the staring stops the breath. So hold the breath as long as you can as you stare at a point. Till you can't hold anymore, then you relax. Then again start the staring. Do this Kumbhaka 21 times. So stare at a spot, stare till you stop breathing, then you relax, again breathing start, and then stare again. Okay? Do it 21 times, start. Staring itself will awaken the Kundalini energy. I was just looking at Swamiji's Murti, staring at him makes you awaken the Kundalini. So stare at this point, one point. Immediately that intense staring, you stop the breathing. It awakens the Kundalini energy. You done? Just staring? You finished?
No, cannot keep on staring.
Why?
Always like thinking.
Don't blink, just stare. You see, no blinking, don't allow the eyeballs to move. I just look at Swamiji's kumkumani. Whole body is like couldn't really get awakened. So this kumbhaka is quite fun. Just fix a sight at one point and stare. Without blinking the eyes, do not allow the eyeballs to move, just stare. Don't move the body until intense staring or awakens the Kundalini energy. You will feel that you've stopped breathing. After that, just relax and then again repeat the staring again. 21 times. So who have done this staring thing? Give me a thumbs up. Very powerful, huh? Every stare, I'm like shaking. All right, let's go to the last step. So those of you who still in the process of doing the fifth step, continue, okay? Last step is called Sama Kumbhaka. Let's enter into the technique. So it's also taken from Kumbhaka Paradi, verse 99. It says, mentally holding the breath in places like navel without actually inhaling or exhaling is called Sama Kumbhaka, which is by Shiva. So stop inhaling or exhaling. Do not breathe in and out. Just stop. Hold the breath. Mentally retain the breath. Okay. As you are holding the breath, bring awareness to your heart. Okay. This one is to your heart because remember, asthma is related to the heart chakra. Okay. Your respiratory system and cardiovascular system. So bring awareness to the heart. When till you can't hold anymore, you just relax. So do this kumbhaka again 21 times. So inhale, stop inhaling, exhaling, just hold the breath. And while you're holding the breath, shift the awareness to your heart chakra. Till you can't hold anymore, just relax and breathe again and then start all over again. Okay, you can close your eyes and do this part. It's better. So when you're done, you just sit in silence, enjoy the unclutched space while we wait for everyone to complete the last step. So everybody finished the last step, Samakumbhaka. Give me a thumbs up, you finished. So, okay, Dottie is finished. So, still waiting for the rest. There's still about three. Here, three people on this Zoom. So, stop inhaling and exhaling. Last step, hold the breath, mentally retain the breath, and bring awareness to the heart center, your heart area. Okay. So you can't hold any longer. Relax and continue with this step. I noticed this Kriya they are all very, very powerful kumbhaka. Everyone. From Naga to Sama. The 5 different kumbhakas are very powerful kumbhaka. Surely you will get cured. Combination of very powerful kumbhaka. Some visualization, some intense staring, all these are very powerful techniques. So, anyone want to share? My feeling is that even, I don't have asthma. When I do this kumbhaka, I feel the lungs and the heart become very powerful, very healthy. Very intense kundalini and awakening. What about the rest? How do you feel when you're doing this kriya? Anyone want to share?
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I feel it's opening up the lungs. It's very powerful, and it's going very deep into the lungs.
Agreed.
And for me, the last two techniques are new, and then the fifth one is for me the most difficult one. The gaze, the fifth. Yeah. The fifth is the most difficult one, gazing without blinking the eyes.
Just take a few more practice, you get the hang of it. Like many of these techniques which are new to us, you just do a few more days, you just become more natural to you. Okay?
Yeah.
So for the first time, don't worry about that. Okay, great. So give it a try for the next 21 days, and especially for Gotti and Jane, who had a history of asthma. Do it for 21 days without breaking, and then you share how it improves your not only just your breathing, your heart function and everything. So
yes, thank you.
What about Jane? You want to share how do you feel about this technique?
Yes. Well, I think after the second step, I felt my trachea and the bronchitis was stretching, and then the lungs were expanding, and then the third step. What happened?
The third step is basically the breathing is Trishula Kumak Trunet Naga.
Oh yeah. And then my heart was beating faster while I was practicing the third step, and then I felt the circulation around my body. Actually, I'm sweating now. It's amazing.
Yeah, because of the energy awakened, you sweat. Yes, a lot of heat created.
I see. So yeah, it was really powerful even after the third step. And then for the staring one, I had this eye, and I was staring at this eye, and then quite how would I say, it was quite funny that I was staring. I didn't blink my eyes, yet the light around the ring was blinking at me. You see, it's short. It was sort of like bright and then dimmer, brighter, dimmer, brighter, dimmer. And then so what's after the staring?
It's the summer.
And then at the final, and then I got really fast. Yeah. So that's all I want to share.
Okay,
I'll share that on I will write up.
Yeah.
Too.
Great. So Maheshwari type say, some step request body cannot move. I felt itchy and want to move. You need to have will persistent. Don't move. When the technique said don't move, try to be still. Okay. Okay. So it takes a bit more practice. You will be able to get used to be still. Anyone else want to share besides Maheshwari, Jane, and Gotti? Who else want to share? Yes. Yeah. Every step I'm like especially
the last step very powerful.
The staring on the heart heart awareness. Even the staring one is also, I was looking at Swamiji's Muti, his third eye, the kumkum. The minute I look at it, really, What about you? Okay, go ahead and finish the last step. So, anyone else want to share? Shankari or Rosita want to share? I find the
totally awaken.
Yeah, I know, it's like the fifth step is quite fun. I find it fun. First time it's staring and you just find that your whole body the energy get awakened. It's quite interesting. I mean, this is the first time I done this Kuma Kumbhaka. It's quite fascinating. I quite enjoy it. Because the rest, I think we have done it in some other kriyas, right? The Trinishtra Kumbhaka, Trishula Kumbhaka, even Naga Kumbhaka, where the first three we have done it before. But this Kuma Kumbhaka is the first time it's staring, and the hard one is also the first time. So they are new techniques we use today. Had fun staring at different things. Okay, so any other sharing? Otherwise, I would like to encourage all of you to try this technique. Even though you have no asthma, you can practice also, because it just strengthens your respiratory and cardiovascular system, which is your heart chakra. Okay, especially now you should know that the COVID pandemic attacked this area, right? Attacks your lungs and your immunity as well as your respiratory system. So when you strengthen this part, it helps you to combat all these viruses that are out there on the whole planet Earth. Okay, so strengthening this area is very good, even though you don't have asthma. Okay, so I highly encourage all of you to try at least for 21 days if you want to strengthen your cardiovascular and your respiratory system. I think this is one kriya I think is quite powerful enough, and also allow you to become healthy here. This system, these two systems, which are very, very important. So with that,
are you going to share some of this? I've already forgotten the last two. I was so concentrated during the session, but now I don't know if I can repeat it on my own. So are you going to share the last, some of the, especially the step 5 and the step 6?
Do you manage to do the 5th and 6th step?
Yeah, I did, but I forgotten already. See, I've forgotten already. It was so intense in that moment.
It's so intense that you fried your brain and you forgot what did we do.
Because like you said, the others were repetitions, and those I can remember, but these last two, it was quite new.
Yes. Yeah, I will share that. I will have the video uploaded so you can practice together with the video. Basically, the last two steps, one is the staring one, you stare at spot, right? And without blinking, without moving your body, just stare. So till you can't hold anymore, you just relax. Then the last step is basically not inhaling and exhaling, you just hold the breath and focus on your heart center, on the Hatha chakra. So these two are the new techniques that we have not tried. This is the first time we're trying with this asthma kriya. So do that, even though you don't have this asthma, you will just strengthen your whole system here. So with that, if there's no other question, I'll definitely share the video once it's uploaded. Okay. Shall we end with the Puna mantra? Thank you all for joining. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sauvam Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam Parta Paramastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you, Nithyanandam. Next week, there will be Pratyangira Devi Puja. So there is no Nithya Kriya. So continue with the practice, okay, at your own pace. Nithyanandam.